I'm Hollins, and thanks for joining me today to learn how to play Meow Mayhem. In Meow Mayhem, players take on the role of chaotic cats, hoping to earn a reputation for themselves by causing mischief. This fast-paced strategy card game unfolds in 5 different types of cards: character, action, punishment, treasure, and room. As cats, players hightail it from room to room, earning a reputation by being bad or gaining karma, finding treasures, and sometimes evading punishments. Players run wild through the house, destroying all of the things and earning a bad reputation to win. Setup for the game begins by players choosing a cat character card to control, along with 2 clips. These will allow us to keep track of our reputation and karma. Your reputation will start at 1, and your karma will start at the 8, indicated by the black square in the middle of the scale on the karma side. Each player will need to do this. Next, place all cards face down in separate stacks, leaving space for a discard pile next to the action card and the room card stacks. Then, place the dice pool in the center of the table. All cards should be shuffled within their groups, except for the room cards. The room cards have a special setup. So what you're going to do is you will search through the stack for the foyer cards with the identifiable stars and teal borders. Pull those 2 out, moving the start foyer room card to the top of the deck and the end foyer room card to the bottom. These cards will go face up, where the middle cards will be shuffled again. However many room cards you put in the center of the foyers will determine the length of the game. I like to start with 5. So then you will put your start foyer on the top of the stack and your end foyer on the bottom. So now our game is all set up and we are ready to start playing. So today we will be playing as Tang. This game is 3 to 5 players, so I went ahead and made 2 kind of fake other players that I'll be keeping score of. But basically, you guys will be learning how to play with me through Tang. So you're going to want to choose a player to be the lead, which will be us. Each round will begin with them, and then we're going to rotate clockwise around the table. From that point on, players will simply follow the instructions on the room cards, drawing a new room at the start of each round. As seen on the card, each player will draw 4 action cards simultaneously. They will then look at their cards and choose which one they would like to discard, which 2 they would like to play, and lastly, which card they will keep. So I'm going to discard this 1 card, I'm going to play these 2 action cards, and then I'm going to keep 1 card off to the side, face down. So this is going to be my turn. And players will always have this 1 card face down off to the side outside of their hand at all times. This card is drawn in the start foyer and may be exchanged with a card in their hand at any time. During the last round in the end foyer, the player will use this remaining card. So when it is your turn, you must attempt to achieve the actions that you've chosen to play. You're going to do that by grabbing the amount of dice as shown in the cards in front of you. So if you're playing 3 action cards, but only 2 of them have dice, you will only use 2 dice, because there's no dice shown on the 3rd action card. So the combined difficulty of these 2 cards is 5. You must roll higher than 5 to achieve both of the actions. However, if you rolled a number that only achieves one or the other, you may choose which action you would like to do. If you successfully achieve an action, then you must take both the positive and the negative points. So between these two actions, I'm going to go ahead and choose to chew on plants. So with my combined score of 3, I achieved this one. So I will then be able to earn +3 reputation for a grand total of 4, and then a -2 karma. But because I failed completing the walkthrough paint action, I will need to go ahead and just take the negative. So in this case, it'll be another -2 karma. That concludes my turn for this round. So I can then discard my cards, and then the play moves will go on to one of the next players. Alright, so now that all 3 of the cats have completed their turn in this room, we're ready to move on to the next one. So we'll go ahead and put the start foyer in the discard room pile, and then we will move into the next room. So this card is going to be the bedroom. So at the top of the card, it tells us to draw 3 action cards. So we'll go ahead and do that. And this is going to be our hand. So we are going to need to discard 1 and play 2 cards. But before we do that, I wanted to show you guys one thing. So this has the matching personality trait modifier. So as you can see with Tang, we are a playful cat. You can tell by this little symbol down here at the bottom. This symbol matches 2 of these different symbols that's in our hand. So what that means is we're going to get +1 to our dice roll when we're trying to achieve that action. So for this hand, we'll need to choose which one we're going to discard. We'll discard this one because it doesn't match. Because we get a bonus for the matching traits, it'll be better to choose those. So we will go ahead and grab 2 dice as seen in our hand. And basically, because we get that bonus, instead of rolling a 4 to achieve lay on keyboard, we will only need to roll a 3. And instead of rolling a 5 on learn to trick, we will only need to roll a 4. So the combined difficulty for this set is originally 9. However, we will only need to roll a 7. So we successfully achieved both of these actions. So what we're going to do is we will add them up individually. +4 reputation for 8, -2 karma. Uh-oh, we're getting low. And learn a trick is -2 reputation and +6 karma. So as you guys can see, learn a trick kind of put our reputation and karma in opposite directions than the normal bad actions, and that's because this is called a good action. All good actions are indicated by the yellow action symbol in the center of the card. These are going to positively benefit our karma as opposed to positively benefiting our reputation. So you must use these cards in conjunction with each other to keep a fair balance on your cat character card. Alright, so now that all 3 characters have went ahead and gone through the room, now we are going to go ahead and move on to the next one. So bedroom goes to the discard pile, and now we have the living room. So each cat will draw 3 action cards. We're going to do this simultaneously, and then we'll play in order. So as you can see, we got one of these action cards that doesn't have a dice on it. So what we're going to do is we automatically achieve this one. So we'll choose which 2 cards we're going to keep and which card we're going to give away. I'm going to give away Meow Loudly until fed because it doesn't really raise my reputation enough. So I'm going to go ahead and give that to one of the other cats. And one of the other cats will go ahead and give me one of their cards. So for this turn, I have these 3 cards in my hand. So, because I automatically achieve this one and it has no dice, I don't get to roll an extra dice to achieve these 2 abilities. However, I do automatically achieve this, and because it's at the start of my lineup, I get to choose my treasure first thing. So draw one treasure from the top of the treasure deck, and I got cat eye cat sunglasses. So I get +1 extra reputation for every successful action. That's really cool. So I'll go ahead and put that face up next to my face down card that's off to the side. And this is gonna apply to every single action that I achieve. So that's just something for me to remember. So now I will try to achieve both of these. As you can see, the personality trait modifiers don't match mine. So I will need to roll a 10 or higher with 2 dice. Okay, so I did not do it, so I can choose whichever one I want to achieve. These are the same level, so it doesn't matter which one, so I will do Swing on the Chandelier. I get +5 reputation, bringing me all the way to 11. And then I am going to lose 3 karma. And then because I failed this action, I don't get the reputation, but I do have to take that -3 karma. Alright, and I do also want to mention at this time, if you have any treasures that you need to keep track of, I do get +1 reputation for every successful action. I got 2 successful actions this turn, so I'll go ahead and move my karma up too. Okay, great, now we're ready to move on to the next room. We'll go ahead and discard the living room. We are now on room number 3, so we're officially halfway through the game. So we're going to do what we always do, draw 3 action cards. Alrighty. And we're going to go ahead and discard 1 card right off the bat. Let's discard this one, the Vomit on Human Bed. So we have 2 left. We have a personality trait modifier bonus. So we need to roll a 4 to achieve both cards. We get 2 dice to do so. Alright, nailed it. So because we rolled a 10, we achieved both. So, we'll go ahead and conclude these in order. We get +3 reputation, which means we max out at 15 karma. But we do lose 1. So we reached 1. And when any player reaches 1, they must immediately draw a punishment card. Punishment cards are similar to action cards. You must succeed the difficulty shown on the dice to evade. Upon a successful evasion, you will just gain the positive karma. If you failed the evasion, you must take the negative reputation as well. So the personality trait does not match, so we have to roll a 6 because punishment cards win ties. So this is a really hard punishment card to evade. We did not do it. So we lose 7 reputation. Brings us all the way down to 8, and we gain 9 karma, which brings us all the way back up to 10. So we'll go ahead and just put that directly into the discard pile. And then we are going to go ahead and run up and down the stairs. That's +2 reputation, plus an additional for my cat eye sunglasses, and we lose 1 karma. So that was our turn this round. Alright, so on to the next round. I'm sure you guys are really getting the hang of how this game works. I'll just go ahead and finish out these last rooms really quick, hopefully highlighting some things we haven't talked about so far before. Which brings us to the attic. So this one is actually going to be a little bit different. It tells us to roll dice to find treasure. So we're going to do that instead of drawing action cards like we used to do. So even rolls draw and play a treasure card, and odd rolls do not. So let's go ahead and roll the dice. Odd rolls, we do not find a treasure. Every single cat does this at the same time. You just roll once, and you either find the treasure or you don't, and then you move into the next room. So let's move on to the next room. And this time it is the studio. So we will go back to drawing 3 action cards. Put these face up here so we can see. We need to discard 1 card, and then we're going to play 2. I'm gonna go ahead and discard P outside the box. So we have Boop Other Cat and Boop the Baby. So before I play my hand and show the other players my cards, I'm gonna go ahead and switch my Boop Other Cat out with my secret card, which was Terrorize Hamster. So now my Boop Other Cat card will be my secret one that I place face down. So for this turn, I will go ahead and play these cards. I need to roll a 9 or higher with 2 dice. I can choose either of these. I will go ahead and Boop the Baby. So we go up +5, and we're gonna go down 3 karma. So as you can see, we're at full reputation, and we have 6 karma left. So that will be our turn for this round. We'll go ahead and discard our cards. The other players will play out their turns, and then we're on to the next room. Alright, so we'll move on to the final foyer. And in this last room, players will resolve the final card that's off to the side. During gameplay, this card could have been switched in or out with any drawn cards. Doesn't necessarily have to be an action. So, ours is Boop Other Cat. And as you can see, we'll go ahead and steal 4 reputation from the cat on our left. And basically, we are at full reputation, so we can't gain any more. But that does mean that we steal 4 reputation from another player, and also we don't lose any karma during this round. So, after you're done, go ahead and discard your card. The other players will play out their final card, and then players can tally the points that they have recorded on their cat character cards using the very advanced point system. Reputation on this side is worth 2 points, and karma is worth 1. So Tang would be at 36 points. Thank you guys so much for watching that play along video. And please send me a message or comment if you have any questions about the gameplay or the game itself. If you would like to read the full PDF version of the instructions, then please head over to meowmayhem.com. A really big thank you to all of the Kickstarter supporters that helped me bring this unique indie game to life.